International Pain 965. My wife of 38 years has been cheating on me nearly the whole of our marriage. Me 61 male and my wife 59 female have been married for 38 years. We have 5 children, 3 boys aged 31/29/28 and 2 girls aged 36/40. The oldest is from my wife's first marriage. We have 17 grandchildren. I found out that my wife has been in an on and off affair with my father since our wedding day. She told me by mistake, not realizing what she said. After denying it, she suddenly came clean and told me everything. It started 4 hours after we got married. At our reception, he started touching her behind. She said she told him to stop, but 6 months after our wedding they started an affair which lasted 1.5 years. Then 2 years after that my mother died, and she said she felt sorry for him and they started up again. We lost our second baby, but she told me it wasn't mine, it was my father's. They were on and off until he died in 2018. She also had a one-night stand 2 months into our relationship. I am so devastated. I just feel like ending it all. I've never felt so much pain in my life. I need help. I am so lost and brokenhearted. Thanks. Distribution_initial. My husband's affair partner passed and it seems like I'm expected to give a reaction. We've been married for over a decade, but at some point I found out he'd been cheating on me for 3 years with an ex, his first love, whose parents didn't let them get married. She tried to break up our wedding and his whole family kept that a secret from me up until the affair had revealed. To keep it short, a lot of shit went down and she said some really vicious and awful things to me. She absolutely hated me and thought I didn't deserve her man, that I'm ugly and I smell, and so much other stuff. We ended up staying together, for the kids. I'm still healing and don't think the love will ever be the same for my husband, but I chose to forgive and maintain normalcy for the sake of my kids. Things are going okay. However, I was informed by a mutual friend that the woman passed away a few days ago. We are all under 35, so it's definitely kind of shocking, and the person who told me knows the hell I went through and the emotional turmoil, but they've never been cheated on, so they'd never really know how it feels, and is going on about how bizarre it is and they feel terrible and asking me if I'm okay. I'm not sure if the purpose is to elicit a reaction from me or if they're genuinely concerned. I have no emotional ties to this woman, nor do I feel I owe her anything. He found out this morning and said something like, "Well, you're probably not sad." I was like, if you had left me for her and received such news, would you expect her to be sad for me? AITA for not being devastated or even really that upset. He literally left the house, leaving me with 2 screaming kids, to make a private phone call to her brother-in-law to find out what happened. Is that not supposed to get under my skin? Turbulent_minimum 561. Wife cheated while I am deployed. I learned back in April that my wife of 5 years, 30F, was having an affair with a guy she worked with. We have a daughter who is 2. Together we had built a comfortable life together. Previous to this we had been going through a rough patch, but I thought it would be something we would work through. I am currently deployed, which makes dealing with this issue more challenging to navigate. After getting caught, she apologized, but I didn't buy it and felt I was only being given lip service. We agreed there was no coming back from this, and truly, I went from being madly in love with this woman to the sound of her voice and seeing her makes me see red anymore. She expressed multiple times that she hates me and wants to be with the affair partner and wants to be divorced immediately. She has this guy over at my house most days of the week late at night, and she brings him around my daughter too, just to spite me, because she says I can do what I want and you can't control me. She has also given this individual the garage code to come and go freely from my home. She has played the victim card in all this and truly believes the lies she's telling. I want so bad every day to post this to social media and destroy her and her image, since she's always cared so much about public perception of her. When she went to her attorney, she drafted divorce documents stating I would walk away from our home and only get my vehicle and personal belongings. We agreed to 50-50 custody for our daughter, but the papers stated I would only get her every other weekend and wouldn't get overnights with my daughter until she was 5. I shortly after came back telling her that I want my daughter 182 days out of the year, and if she wants the house she will have to buy me out or we will sell it. She has said that she will not willingly give me that much time with my daughter because she thinks I don't deserve it, and she won't agree to terms for the house either. She said we will settle in court. After informing her of the financial commitment that will entail, not to mention the long time frame, it only fell on deaf ears. I don't want to waste money that could better serve myself or my daughter, not to mention I don't wish to waste so much time. In all of this, her family is unaware of her behavior. Any advice on how to persuade her to settle now out of court? Should I maintain the moral high road? Should I lift the veil of all this to family, friends, and anyone else? Edit. I'm in the Missouri Army National Guard. I'm an E5 sergeant. The only reason I mention taking the moral high road is because she's already being difficult and I don't get to talk to my daughter but once a day for maybe 15 to 30 minutes. Just worried she would make it harder, if not impossible, to see/speak with my daughter. Legally she can't, but people break the law every day. The loan for the house is in her name since when we purchased the property her credit was just slightly better than my own. The deed though is in both of our names. We have already split bank accounts so our finances are separate. I send her enough money to make our mortgage payment since I receive BAH, money for utilities, and money to support my daughter. Everything else is being put away for the legal battle that will ensue upon my return. I have every intention on fighting for my child tooth and nail and won't settle for anything less than 50-50 custody or 182 days a year with her. She is a federal employee for the Federal Bureau of Prisons. This guy was an employee there but has since quit and is currently in the police academy. I learned of the affair because AP's wife tracked him to my house. I have since received pictures, screenshots of messages and videos as evidence of this affair. I also have on video admissions of guilt to confirm this as well. Not to forget, my neighbor across the street has been keeping an eye on my house and has shared videos of AP coming and going freely through my garage. Edit ***** update. After finally having put up with enough of the disrespect and being treated so poorly on every front, I created a group text with her parents and spelled out everything that has been happening, to include the sharing of pictures captured by AP wife when she caught my wife and AP at my house. After I sent that text to her parents, what do you know? No response. I guess you can say that silence is consent. I'll share the exact texts that happened in the last few days between her and I. I am removing names but no other content. I know that things have been hard for us for quite some time now, but I also know that it doesn't give me an excuse to do what I did. I am truly sorry for that. I am sorry that I hurt you in a way that will probably never be repaired in your eyes. I am not asking you to forgive me because I know that you have every right to hold a grudge. With that being said, I want us to get back to a healthy place where we can discuss child and a parenting plan for when you get back. I understand if you don't want to do that and want to go ahead with court to determine a patenting plan. I am just trying to do what is right for child. So let me know. I do not want to fight. Her following up the next day, let me know if you want to schedule a time to talk about child. Me, I prefer to correspond about matters such as child or the way ahead via text. As far as your text from last night, I'm still thinking it over and getting my thoughts in order before I give a response. That's fine, I understand. We can talk through text. Take your time if that's what you need. I won't rush you. My response a week later, I don't wish to fight and would like to move forward, but I won't compromise on what I expect as far as acceptable terms for the way ahead. If these terms can be agreed on, I'm more than okay with settling out of court and having my attorney draft the documents. My terms and expectations are as follows. 50-50 joint physical and joint legal custody of child. 182 days a year with child, to include overnight visits. All major decisions concerning child have to be agreed upon: school, medical, activities, etc. Being bought out of the house or selling the property. No child support by either party to be paid or received. No alimony or maintenance by either party to be paid or received. Each party retains their own current bank accounts and funds. Each party retains their own retirement and investment accounts and funds. I want the exercise bike. I want the engagement/wedding ring set back. If you can agree on these terms, I am willing to settle out of court and move into discussion of a parenting plan. Well, I was thinking more of a progressive parenting plan for child. She's only 2 and is very dependent on me. She hasn't seen you in a year and will be very uncomfortable leaving me and going with you. And even before you left, she was very attached to me. So what I was suggesting is the first year do 80/20ths, then the next year 70/30ths, and work our way to 50/50ths. That way she is more comfortable and that gives you more time to get settled. All of the major decisions would still be decided by both of us. I don't care about anything else in your agreement. That's not what I'm worried about. Me, I'm not at all willing to do anything less than 50/50ths. Regardless of your personal opinion or feelings, I'm entitled to equal time spent with her. Her, I know, but I'm asking you to put aside your pride and do what's best for, child. Me, I'm not playing this game with you. What I'm asking is not unreasonable, nor is it selfish or prideful. I'm going to email my attorney and tell them to go ahead with filing for a court date. Her, okay, I'll see you in court. Deleted. Wife's cheating confession. About a month after our wedding, the wife and I headed for a night away in a city about an hour from us. Checked into the hotel, got changed and headed to a bar. She was wearing a long dress with a very low-cut revealing top, no bra, showing off plenty of tit and, if you were at the right angle, a full-on view of them. We went into a bar, took a seat and got a drink when a guy came over, hugged my wife and asked her how married life was. She introduces him as a guy who works in the same company, but in a head office that was in the city. He's obviously staring at her tits as they talk and she was quite uncomfortable. He leaves and she says we should try somewhere different. He returns with a drink for us, hangs around for a couple of minutes taking every chance to look down her top. He soon returns to his table and I noticed a group of them looking over and laughing, obviously telling his 2 mates how he saw his co-worker's tits. We finish our drinks and the wife is insistent that we move bars. That was the last I heard of him for about 4 years. One day out of the blue my wife admits to sleeping with someone. I still don't know why she chose that particular time to tell me. I asked who, where, when and how it happened. Turns out it was the fucker in the bar. For months before we got married, at the company Christmas party they slept together. Slipped off to his room and let him have her. So I was sitting in the bar that night we met him thinking he was just trying to see her tits. Little did I know that he'd been sucking them a few months earlier. He was obviously telling his mates when they were looking over and laughing. Living_comparison_12. Caught wife on Ring camera. Last summer we had builders doing our garden up. I was away a lot working. We have a Ring camera set up facing the staircase. The Ring camera caught my wife, 35, taking one of the younger, 19/20ths, builders upstairs in the afternoon. When looking I thought he went up to have a look at the garden or use the toilet. Came down about 1.5 hours later. Her hair was open and she was looking worse for wear. She came down wearing a vest and no bra. This went on all summer, but I've only just got round to looking at the footage now. It wasn't just the young one either. Other days she took one of the older men in his 50s up as well. She doesn't know that I know. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the game.
And so the hero This new recruit was known across the land.
The fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Surely the hero would be an honorable ruler.